Hey there, it is Tom here on behalf of Indie Structural Productions, and this will not be a normal sort of monthly update, as there was a bunch of stuff that happened this month, but instead we're going to do the 1K giveaway, but in the spirit of updates, what happened during the month, let's have a look at some of the things that I've been working on. Going to finish tearing off this fretboard today. It's coming off in two separate parts. It is Sunday currently, so this is from yesterday. Here is the 7-string single cut that I've been working on, now with a back cavity for the switch. And yeah, switch plate made out of birch. This is an up-and-coming build that there will be a new video series on. Here is the neck for it, and the binding. If you've been checking Instagram, you would have seen a post on this already, and then a top for it. Now these are going to be things that are coming up fairly soon. Next week, so this week Sunday, so Sunday the 6th, I will have, finally, I have the spraying video part 2 of repainting a guitar from home. It's going to go live on the 6th. And then after that, I believe the next weekend, I will have the first video of me working on this new project. So, look forward to that. But this intro has already gone on for way too long. As you can see, this is a long video ahead of us. So, stick around and find out what the community has been up to, what you guys have built. And let's see who is the winner of the 1K giveaway. See you soon. Hello and welcome everybody. It is Tom on behalf of Indie Structural Productions once again, and it is now November the 26th. Yesterday was the cutoff point for the 1K subscriber giveaway. So today we're gonna have a look at all the entries. So basically the whole premise was that for 1K subs, I wanted to see what my subscribers have actually been building on their own, because I know there's a bunch of DIY luthiers out there who have been commenting on my channel, working on their own projects, so I am really interested to see what you guys have been building. So now I've already gone through, I've checked, I asked people to send their stuff via Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and email. So I checked Facebook, Twitter, there's nothing on there. Instagram's got one post, but I did get a bunch of emails for this thing, so I can't wait to have a look. I haven't looked at any of the entries at all yet. This is the first that I'm gonna have a look at them. I know there's a couple that I've seen progress pictures of, so I have a vague idea, but I won't let that affect my decision in any way. Without further ado, let's just jump on into it and see what kind of cool, crazy stuff you guys have come up with. All right, so I am actually gonna take off my glasses because I don't need them right here on the computer. So first off, we have Instagram, Chris Franklin. So Chris Andrews, he's been very, Chris, I love the stuff that you do, and you're always an avid watcher and you comment on things a lot, so thank you for that. And what you've built is, all the things that you build, they're always so much fun to look at. For those of you not in the know, I'm just going to read over here. So, Tomster from IP Guitars is celebrating crossing 1,000 subs on YouTube by looking at other people's guitars. I reckon more people should sub. Thank you very much. These are my most recent 3 guitars, all embracing use what you got before it was a thing. They're rough and ready, but I'm proud of them. I really like the natural body painted neck look of the full-scale tiny body Telly, which was an oak shelf in past life. Coincidentally, it's Telly Tuesday, and they're all derivatives of that. I can't talk today for some reason. This mini Telly is so funky, but man, I'm pointing like this, but you won't be able to see. This guitar is a thing. Let's have a look. So this is basically plywood, MDF. Oh yeah, so this is the mini Telly. Man, yep, that works. The color combo works, yeah. The body and the painted neck, they really do work very well together. I think, was this pine and... Yeah, so this is the pine guitar, isn't it? So it's a pine body and a pine neck, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a look. Blue. Here. Yeah, pine neck, pine fretboard, pine body. This was Chris's Pine Guitar Challenge. That turned out really cool. Yeah, I like these. I like these a lot. All right, let's go have a look at some emails. Now, I'm not going to show you my email folder, of course, so we're just going to go in order. I can already tell this looks freaking awesome. Love the channel. So this is from Garrett Tanner. Love the channel, man. Here's 2 basses I've built over the years. The first is made of hard rock maple and was the very first bass I made in high school about 9 years ago. Jesus, I'm getting old. Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into when I got out of high school. When did I get out of high school? Oh, man, yeah. I got out of high school 10 years ago. Well, there we go. Anyway, very first bass, 9 years ago. Standard J bass and was the heaviest, thickest sound for a bass I've ever heard. It has 30 coats of true all finish. Nice, that's quite a bit. Let's have a look at that first. That's really nice. Really nice. I love the whole like sort of, it's very much a less is more, but if it's your first go at things, you've done a hell of a job, man. Definitely a very, very good first build. And I can see the sheen of the oil. You've done very well. Very nicely done. This is the bass I've built with in the past 2 months. The body is basswood, basswood. The body is basswood. It has a soap bar and a Music Man humbucker in it. The wiring is a blend pot, 3-way SPDT, north-south coil splits for each pickup, and a tone control. If I were to describe the sound, I'd say it's a combination between a Stingray and a jazz bass. It has a 7-coat tongue oil finish. Nice. So let's have a look at that one. Dude, I love the color. The color is so nice, and I really like the pick guard. Quite a bit. That's actually really cool. Is that made by hand? Dude, I love the body. And the color contrast, they work. They work very well. These are 2 very nice and stylish basses. And I can see that you really put a lot of thought into them, which is always a very pleasant thing to see in builds. And on a separate note, I didn't make the necks by hand. I don't quite have the skills for that yet. There's a time and place for everything. I mean, basically, yeah, necks seem like, you know, a terrifying thing to start off with. It's just more a matter of starting and doing it. That's how I learned. Your first necks are gonna be horrible. There's no way around it. But unless, you know, you have a good teacher, there's some really good luthiers out there. I'm not tooting my own horn or patting myself on the back, because I don't know how my teachings of me doing stuff in my spare bedroom are helping with build necks and stuff. But nonetheless, there's a lot of information out there on how you can achieve different shapes of guitar and bass necks. So I suggest checking those out and then just trying out things. If you have some scrap wood, you don't have to make the entire neck. You can just work on the carve on just a piece of some wood, and then you get a sort of idea of what the processes are. And then when you're actually ready to build a full neck, then you're already sort of familiar with what the processes are, which is really nice and should help you go a long ways. Routing the truss rod channel, that's just easy. And fretwork, you can either cut the frets by hand, use a jig, or get a pre-slotted fretboard. If you're going for a first neck, you can even try just making the neck itself and having a pre-slotted fretboard. So you're doing like 50-50 kind of thing. And then only later applying your skills to making a fretboard once you're more comfortable with making a neck. Anyway, thank you for all the information you put in your... I can't talk today. Thank you for all the information you put into your videos. It has been very helpful in building my most recent bass. I also love the goofy editing you do on your videos. Yeah, well, thank you very much. The goofy editing is well, goofy. But man, looks really nice. Next one. So, we have Kevin Benes. I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name. I'm sure none of those were even remotely correct, so I apologize for that. But let's have a look at what Kevin's done. Sustainiac install and a 9-volt battery display I rigged up on the control cavity of one of my guitars. Okay, let's have a look. Man, wiring does my head in. This
Personally, if somebody asked me to do this, I would just be like, oh dear Lord, what am I doing? And I've seen from Crimson other people getting really stressed over Sustainiac install, so I know how hard it is. And this looks very neatly done. It might look like a bunch of wiring just here and there, but I can tell that everything is in its place as it should be. All the solder joints, soldering points, they're actually very clean. There's not a bunch of different like globs all over the place. Looks very nicely done. Yeah, and I like the fact that you're using zip ties as well to kind of hold everything together. That much wiring, you kind of need to do that too, to make a sort of cohesive unit. But you've done a very good job there. I love the display. That's cool. So it has a button on the back. I wonder how that works when you're playing. That does it constantly hit and you get like get the display going off. But yeah, no, that's really nice, clean wiring. Very good job. Very well done. Then we have Bennett H. Congratulations on 1K subscribers. Thank you very much, and thank you for subscribing. I've only been a subscriber for about a month, and thus I am still in the planning stages. I feel a lot more confident going into my first build because of you. See, it's stuff like this that makes me kind of like pause and think that as much as there's a lot of times where I second guess myself on making videos and stuff like that and not being overly confident with stuff I'm putting out there, but really trying to make helpful content for people to watch. The fact that I am able to actually help people figure stuff out and get creative and make projects, that means the world to me. I don't care about having 5 million subscribers. What I care about is the fact that like if I have subscribers who actually get something out of my videos, who go and make sawdust themselves and create something, make something, that is incredibly important to me, and thank you very much for the kind words. I figured a template would be the best since my first build and 6-string bass is a bit of a specialty item. That is very ambitious. That is a very good way of going at it. Figuring everything out first and doing a template and drawing things out in scale really helps kind of like figure things out and piece all the little parts together. Here's a fretboard mockup I did in AutoCAD. It's 35-inch scale, 16.5 mil spacing on the bridge, 87.3 mil at the 25th fret, and 54 at the nut. I plan on using Hipstod A style 6-string bass bridge. All of the hardware will. I cannot speak. All of the hardware will be black or dark gray. I'm going for a sleek look, not a gaudy one. Also very nice. Sometimes like the whole approach of less is more really goes a hell of a long way instead of doing something completely over the top. There's a time and place for everything. I mean, I have a bunch of guitars that I've done. Hell, look at Cheeky. Cheeky is the epitome of less is more. It's got, or actually, even better yet, the Pine guitar is the epitome of less is more. Meanwhile, then the After Hours guitar, the guitar that I'm building for myself, that is just over the top. It's going to be so eccentric and gaudy, to use your word. So yeah, I get what you mean. It's a very nice way to look at things. Woodworking plan. I love the fact that you have everything kind of separated into like segments. It shows that you're really like invested in this project and you're actually like already putting things into sort of checklist sort of format. That is a very smart way of doing things. Woodworking plan. My plan is to glue maple 2x4s together to create a block of wood with a neck, then route 2 non-adjustable truss rods, a dual action truss rod using a jig. Depending on what lumber I can get, a good deal on what that will be my fretboard. I'm hoping for some maple burl or dark ebony with no inlays. Yeah, just if you're gonna use maple burl for a fretboard, make sure that first off, that it's stable, that it is dried completely, because it might still twist quite a bit if it's not, which will cause you no ending grief. Because it's also burl, it might have a lot of open pores in it, so you might want to think of how to fill those up before doing fretting
and cutting your fret slots.
The body is likely going to be basswood since it's inexpensive. Basswood is also very good because it actually is fairly resonant and it works. Funnily enough, basswood works very well for basses. Yeah, you're gonna get a bunch of stupid jokes throughout this video for sure. Basswood body with a veneer that is stained matte or satin finish. I made a 16-inch radius block via 3D printing already and have bought a fret saw as well as some other stuff from StewMac. Attached is the image of the sanding block as well as the Autodesk file just in case you wanted the template. Wow, thanks, cool. Don't have Autodesk, I used to have, and don't have a 3D printer. I know some people who do. And 16 inches is by far my favorite radius to go with, so it would be nice to have a wider block for basses and 7 strings and 8 strings, seeing as my current one only does about 6 strings. Question, go for it. Is 4.8 millimeters enough distance from the edge of the fretboard on the highest string? Is 4.2 enough space on the lower end? I tried to offset it in such a way that the B string gets more wiggle room higher on the fretboard, but it might need to adjust some stuff still. Basically, the very, very easiest way for you to figure this out, you already know what bridge you're using. You know your scale length, you know your nut width, and you know your fretboard dimensions. If you can figure out what strings you're going to be using, then just draw it out. And that will give you pretty much the distances that you need for the string spacings and also how far you want those 2 edgemost strings to be from the edge of the fretboard. But 4.8 mil. I mean, yeah, it sounds about being enough distance, but really when it comes down to these things, even if I say that it sounds pretty good, it really depends on what strings you're going to be using. So figure out the strings first and then see what the spacing would be from the edge of the fretboard by drawing it out. That helps and goes a long way. So let's have a look at your fretboard mock-up. I can't zoom in on that by the looks of it, but I'll zoom in now on the edit of the video. And yeah, looks pretty solid. Well, you've already drawn the strings on here, but now just work out what thicknesses the strings are going to be, or what gauges the strings are going to be on the edges at least, and you'll have a much better idea of what you're going to go for. Let's have a look at the radius block. Dude, that's pretty sweet. And it looks to be very structurally sound. The good thing about you having printed the radius block is the fact that it's rigid and it won't move. My radius block is made out of wood. It's very dry wood and it's very well seasoned, but if it does move, then it moves and then my radius is out. But this is a very good way of going at it. Hats off to you, sir. Okay, next one is Riccardo Privitera. Hi, my name is Riccardo from Italy. Richard, if you prefer. I can do Riccardo. I really love your channel. Thank you so much. I discovered it recently, but immediately subscribed. I'm a DIY guy working in a garage with cheap tools, and I learn a lot from your videos. Hey, I'm putting this in air quotes. I'm technically a trained professional, and I work in my spare bedroom. So, you know, that's what I got going for me. The project that I attached in this email is one I actually did before knowing your channel, actually. But I'm into another one at the moment that is not completed. That will certainly benefit from your videos. Thank you for thinking so. A short description of what I did. Basically, I took a Harley Benton bass, a Music Man style one. I know the bass. Took away the paint, modified the shape, adding a Rickenbacker style horns to the body and a flame kind of shape to the bottom of the body. Then I bought a pre-made neck but with a blank headstock, reshaped to match the style of the flame and drilled the holes. Also routed the battery pocket in the back because I wanted active electronics and a scrap wood cover. Then I designed and crafted a pickguard from a blank sheet. Pickup route was a nightmare without a template and a router bit without a bearing. Ooh, yeah, been there. It is a nightmare. For the bridge, I had to remeasure the holes because I changed it and it was different from the original. And finally painted the new base in a sort of acid green burst color. Dude, this sounds awesome. All right, I'm gonna have a look at what you made now. Basically, by the sounds of it, you have done the processes exactly right. This is kind of where I started things from, customizing things that I bought for dirt cheap and then remade. All right, let's have a look. So, wow. Yeah, very nicely done. It's very well documented. I like that. I like that a lot. So, this is the original base. Yep, it was exactly the one I was thinking of. Can't wait to see what you do with this. And there's the neck. Okay, cool. I like the neck. Really cool inlays that you chose. Or really nice neck that you found, I should say. All right, got the paint off. Yeah. Nice. Dude. Dude, I love the shape. The horns are so cool, but this is so nice. The whole form and how it flows, it works so well. I like that. I like that very much. All right, makes sense. You can actually get that back cover out of there. That's really nice. That's very good. All right. Yep. Very good example of carrying a theme from the headstock onto the body, because this bevel complements the other bevel. Or I should say the bevels complement each other, especially with them being on separate sides or two different opposing sides. It kind of brings balance to the entire design. You've done very well. So black base coat, rubbed back. Man, that's a nice color. That's a really nice color. That's an even funkier color. Dude, that's awesome. Dude, that's so cool. Very nicely done. That's a very nice base. Guess what? I just realized that my camera had stopped recording. I don't have a flip screen, so I don't know when it goes off. It's very annoying. Now, so my camera cut out and I missed a bunch of stuff. So going back now to the finished base here, I can't remember all the things I said, but that is a very good looking base. You should be really proud of your work. My dream is to be able to build a custom base from scratch, and maybe with your help, I will someday. You will someday. No, I mean, seriously, you clearly do know the sort of processes that are involved. You can use tools really well, and the basic know-how of how things go and should work. And seriously, you have a really good eye for detail and design. For instance, the fact that like you have these two bevels, they complement each other very well, and it just all pulls together in a very cohesive unit, and it just works. Nothing looks out of place. The pick guard works very well with all the shapes that are in the body, the curves that I already have mentioned multiple times that I really like, the headstock shape, and just has been very well thought out, and the work you've done has gone really well, so you should be proud of it. I threw in a lot of pictures, but you can obviously use whichever you want, even one or two. I will be very excited and honored to have my work on your channel. Well, guess what? I showed all of it. I didn't just pick some of it, I showed all of it, so you're welcome for that. Thank you very much for your work and your channel. You get inspired a lot of people. Now, I did get to this point already, and I went past this point already in the first recording that I did, but nonetheless, like me reading that, it still gets an automatic reaction out of me. I'm very flattered. Thank you so much. this means a lot to me. I've had somewhat of a lousy day, and going through all this stuff and hearing all the nice things that you guys say, it means a lot. Like I don't care if I have 50,000 million subscribers and I'm the biggest YouTuber on the planet. I don't care about that. The thing I care most about is that if people watch what I do in my little workspace and get inspired and go make sawdust on their own and actually build these amazing looking instruments, and if I manage to inspire even a little portion of people to pick up tools and get into guitar building or guitar customization or just any making, really, if somehow what I do inspires people to do something creative, I have done more than I could ever ask for. And I couldn't be happier. Like, seriously, this is what I want out of the channel. I want to be able to give you guys the sort of spark that you might need to pick up tools and start a project. If you're ever in doubt that maybe I don't have the skill set or maybe I don't have the right tools, trust me, the fact that you're just interested in the thing is more than enough. All you need to do is just start. You will make a lot of mistakes, you will fail, but you'll learn from those mistakes. Thank you very much, Ricardo. That means a lot. Next up, there's Frankie Jan. So, the one that started it all, project number 3, project number 2. So, I'll do this one first. Hi, Tomster, the one that started it all. A video popped up in my YouTube feed from Crimson. Take a kit guitar and make it great. Late 2018, and I was hooked from there. I know the video that you're talking about, or the video series that I know you're talking about. I'd always been fascinated with Parker guitars and found a somewhat look-alike kit. Cool. It was a dead flat slab and the body shape was pretty far off. Okay, less cool. Lots of scribbling and I took a deep breath and started carving. Loads of wood removed and I made it comfortable for me. Issues solved? Question mark. Tuner holes offset, headstock shape wrong, so that the strings would all turn upwards behind the nut. Right, yeah, okay. Drilled a new hole and filled in the original low E with cabochon. I don't know what that is. Anywho, string run is now very straight. Neck was up-bowed a lot. Truss rod would not fix. Found a possible fix online. Will Easy Guitar, aka Guitar Doctor. Know the name, I think. Loosened the truss rod, clamped it between some wood with a slight amount of relief from the business card. See photo. Oh, okay. Yeah, so let's have a look at the photos. So here is the starting off point. Okay, yeah, so completely flat. Parker flies have that really nice carve on it. So yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. Got the drawings pretty okay. Cool, cool. Oh, right, okay, yeah. So this is you straightening the neck. Yeah, I've seen this process being done. That's actually works. All right, before we move on to there. See photo. Stuck it in my tin shed in the middle of a hot summer day, left it there for a day, took it out at night and let it cool down. Neck is dead flat with no strings on. Awesome, so it did work out very well. That's very good and has been nice and stable since. There we go. Such a simple thing, simple process to fix that. And I'm glad that it actually worked out for you. Neck bolted to the body with threaded inserts rather than screws. Good man. Connection is tight as heck. That is a very good way of going it. I don't like bolt-on necks with just the screws in them. Well, I mean, I don't like bolt-on necks to begin with all that much. But, yeah. Threaded inserts, those give you such a solid connection with the neck and the body. The relationship there is, if you do it right, is very tight and will be able to carry that vibration through a little bit better. Well, better than wood screws, at least. And they won't come loose. No wiring diagram included. Had to work one out for myself. Decided upon 1 volume, 1 tone, 2 coil split switches. Cool. And if you worked it out on your own, my hat's off to you, because I am completely oblivious without wiring diagrams. I need to find them online because I don't understand wiring. I can make it work, but I don't understand why it works.
Like magic.
That's how it works. Had to learn how to apply crimson stains in an attempt at a PRS Dragonfire Burst, front, back of the neck. How to apply crimson oil finish, how to apply a buff Renaissance wax finish. Like these sort of projects are exactly the type of thing where you kind of learn the ins and outs of different processes. So let's have a look of, ooh, oh, that's funky. Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, you had to learn how to do these things, and you clearly did do them pretty well. I love the pig pickups. Those are pretty rad. I like that. Oh, okay, so there, I see the hole that you filled up. Is that a Stormtrooper helmet? Yeah, all right, sweet. This looks pretty cool. And like seriously, the work is very clean. And you've done a very nice job on this. Definitely a huge step up from what you started with, to say the very least. Oh, yeah, and more things you had to learn, plus how to level, crown, polish, frets, and do a setup. Yep, it's just one of those things. First project, you learn these things. Issues not fixed. May redo this guitar with new skills added since. Advice, please. Intonation. Trem settles have run out of room, so the bridge needs to move about 5 millimeters back. Pickups are cheap trash. May do a full rewire replacement. Thinking GFS Quick Connect pre-made harness and got several pickups for easy swapping. Graphtech nut. Yeah, okay. The intonation thing, let's have a look. So, yeah, you're pretty far back. What I would do is, have you checked, because you said that you've run out of room on your saddles, but have you checked that the actual scale length is correct and your fret positions are correct? Because if your scale length is off, then you need to think of what process to fix there. And if your frets are off, then again, you need to figure out what would be the best way to go at it. Depending on your scale length, and let's say that the scale is a little off and your fret positions would be correct according to the right scale length, then I would more than likely urge you to instead move the neck instead of the bridge, because as it seems, it's the trem bridge. Might be a little bit more of a hassle to plug that up, fill that up. But of course, moving the neck, you have threaded inserts. Yeah. Well, I guess first start off with what would be the issue. Is it the scale length? Or is it the frets out of line? Or is the bridge just faff? And after that, hit me up with a message and we'll figure out what would be the best course of action to fix that up. Frankie, project number 2. And because I'm paranoid, I'm checking my camera. Hi, I'll break these projects up a bit. Technically project 2 after my kit build, but this was the first guitar from the early 90s. Neck was ruined as I had it scalloped and it was unplayable. Oh boy, I've been there. Like seriously, my first guitar was a Squier Strat that I modified and it was horrible. Well, actually I first repainted it. I had gotten the guitar for like $20 from my friend because it didn't work anymore. Of course, nowadays I know that it's just like a quick truss rod adjustment and maybe a new nut figuring out intonation would have made it work a lot better. Nonetheless, I repainted it, looked pretty cool, and then I went ahead and destroyed it. I did a bunch of carving, I did all kinds of like painting and just bad finishing work, and now that guitar is actually in a Finnish guitar museum, and I really should go get it out of there and make something better for them, just to kind of, make me feel better about the fact of having one of my works on display in a place like that. Anywho, back to your thing. Fast forward to me joining the online Lutherie community in 2019, and I thought I'd give it some love as it had been sitting in various cupboards for decades. Yep. New neck off of eBay, full fret job done from what I've learned online, no name tuners. Body stripped back to plywood. I bet that was a cool thing to find out that it was plywood. Radically reshaped monkey grip, glitter added to the custom paint. Okay, that's cool. Paint all done with Rust-Oleum spray cans under my patio. New pickups, no name again, refurbed Floyd Rose. I had to learn how to shim a neck too, as the action was sky high on first assembly. Now, this is the epitome of I have an old guitar that I have done nothing with. Let's experiment. This is exactly what you should, like if you're interested in the field at all and going into like guitar work, customizing, doing paint jobs, or just interested in doing a sort of project. Taking an old busted up guitar and just going crazy with it's a very good way of practicing the first processes that you're going to learn when it comes to guitar building and working with guitars. And in general, it's a very low bar, low threshold to doing things because you haven't touched the guitar and you're probably never going to play it again. So if something goes wrong, well, something went wrong. Who cares, right? So you won't be kind of disappointed in that sense, but you will learn. All the failures and mistakes that you make, you will definitely learn from them. I'm not sure if I'll do further upgrades to make it play or sound better or not. This was an experiment to learn skills and make mistakes. Exactly. So just what I said. This is exactly the type of thing that you should do. Just start it, make as many mistakes as you will probably do first time around. And check out tutorials online. Those will get you a very long way, much the same way that Frankie did. And yeah, if you make mistakes, failures, don't worry about it. You're bound to do that. Just the main thing is that you'll learn from those mistakes. If you have a guitar like this that you're not that invested in, making mistakes will not feel like the end of the world. Hi, Tom Sir. Project number 3. Another custom paint job for a friend of mine. 3/4 or half size cheap LP style guitar. Tribute to Eddie Van Halen, completed early this year prior to his passing. Again, only spray cans for the paint job, done under my patio. But had to learn how to do multiple masking and then get enough clear on there to cover up the deep paint ridges from various layers. Yeah, that is a tricky thing to do. There are a few ways to get by that if you were to do this again. That when you remove the masking tape, you can use a little bit of like rather high grit wet and dry, like 800 or something, just to get those ridges smooth out a little bit. Not enough to go through the paint, but enough for you to get those ridges off. So here is the starting point. Okay, cool. Like you definitely didn't pick an easy paint job to go for. So seriously, hats off to you for making this work, because this looks pretty incredible. You've done a hell of a job. And looking at the finish itself, seriously, it's like, I know that I can see some areas where it seeped through a little bit through the masking tape, like here and there a bit, and other areas. But honestly, I think that just kind of lends to the whole vibe of this. I mean, what, Eddie himself did the same sort of thing? He just spray painted his own guitar. So this is probably exactly how it would have been done, or how he did it, and probably roundabout looks about the same. You did a really good job, and worrying about the seams and getting all those cleared up, as you can see in the reflection of everything, I don't see the seams popping out that much, or at all, I should say. You've done a really good job. This is really cool. All right, actually, that is everyone now. So, dun dun dun, here we go. We're gonna be going through the different ones that I got. Oh, there. Okay. Copy those. So hey guys, did you actually know there's this really cool channel that you guys can check out at IP Guitars? Seems interesting. Maybe you've heard of them. Alrighty, so let's have a look at the entries. So we have 5, well, we had a bunch of different things that we went through, but essentially I picked out 5. So I was gonna say the most recent things, but there's the Parker Fly kit. As great as it is, I think it's best that I keep it within the same sort of medium. So that was your first project. I will go with your latest project instead, Frankie. So 4 different guitars, or 4 different projects to choose from. So first there was Chris. Basically, there was the Work With What You Got guitar, which is made up of MDF and plywood and pine and all kinds of things, which I love the idea of. I mean, you did do the pine guitar challenge. I'm kind of biased on that in that sense, in that one. So I'm kind of biased in that way for that guitar. So I can't judge that one. Just to be fair, we're also going with the most recent project, and I believe that this is the most recent project. Yeah. So here it is. Yeah. Oh, it was a part of the Great Guitar Build-Off thing. Sweet. Yeah. OSB. I keep on saying ABS for some reason. OSB. Yeah, there we go. OSB, plywood, MDF, pine slats, and bamboo. Okay. Cool. So yeah. So that was Chris's build for this. Then the next one that we looked at was Garrett with his bass. Man, I just love the feel and the look of this. The colors are really good. They're really spot on. Then we had Ricardo with his bass with the bevels that I kept on pointing out. And then we had Frankie's EVH paint job. So these are the 4 contenders, so to speak, for the entries. And seriously, I don't like picking favorites because you guys are all amazing. You're doing really cool things, and you have the right mentality for it. I just love it. It's like you doing these things and you talking about, or how you talk about what you've made is really inspiring to me. It makes me happy seeing that there's other people who are, passionate about things that they make. And it makes me motivated to work on my stuff. I've always found that. It's like whenever there's a motivator to make things, it's more often than not, it is somebody else making something, which is very often why I have Adam Savage's tested videos playing in the background while I'm working, because it keeps me going. It keeps me motivated. But I think I might have to go with Ricardo on this, just for the whole design aspect and really well thought out. And I really like the fact that it's like somewhat, reminiscent of where I started off with. So I have a soft spot for these things where yes, we do have kit build or partial builds and refinishes and just using whatever materials you have. These are all aspects of what made me the craftsman that I have actually become. Like, I started off with doing refinishes, like Frankie did here. Then I moved on to customizing some ready-made instrument, which is what Ricardo did. Then I went on to building a body, having a ready neck, which is what Garrett did. And after that, I looked at the materials that I had at my disposal, and I made guitars out of that, which is what Chris did. And then I started making guitars out of, sourced wood, processing everything, and just making things from the very get-go. So to see that I have 4 entries, which are
pretty much 4 different cornerstones of what brought me to where I am now is so interesting to me. And yeah, but I keep on coming back and I keep on looking at Ricardo's thing, and I have a feeling that well, congratulations, sir. You are the winner of this giveaway. I will be getting in contact with you shortly. Thank you so much to all the rest of the contestants, Frankie, Chris, Garrett, and everybody else who did not have time to submit. Like, thank you so much to every single one of you who actually entered into this. The fact that I was already kind of like thinking that maybe like 1, maybe 2 people come. To see this sort of turn out is, thank you. Thank you guys so much. I did pick only the finished builds and projects for this. So that's why I didn't pick Kevin and Bennett. Kevin, you did a very fantastic job with electronics. We didn't see a full guitar that you worked on, but whatever you did do, you did really, really well. And hell, I can't do that level of electricity. That's for damn sure. So I tip my hat off to you, sir. Bennett, I am really looking forward to seeing your bass come together. Please do send me pictures and updates as you go along. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will try and help out and answer those the best I can. But I'm really looking forward to that. And the radius block was a superb idea. Very nicely done. And thank you to all of you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Frankie, Ricardo, Garrett, Bennett, Kevin. Sorry. You guys are fantastic. And thank you so much for getting in contact and getting involved in this. I just, seriously, keep at it. Keep making sawdust, keep making great projects, and who knows, maybe we'll do this again sometime. Thanks so much for watching, and I'm gonna go and message Ricardo now. See you guys in the next video. I don't know when this is gonna come out, but see you guys. Bye.